And we're live. Welcome back to the Manor Entropians. Julian McBain here. And sound check. There we go. We are hunting Jurra Plateau. Or at least I think we're going to be hunting Jurra Plateau. Oof, looks like the curbs might have been hunted dry. My goal today, though, is to do a controlled cost hunt. So what we're doing is we're going to do a controlled cost hunt. I have 700 ped worth of ammo on me. And we're going to go roll through for the hour and a half, recycle if we have to. And just go from there. And see how it turns out. We could win, we could lose. It looks like I'm being like totally... That's the one thing about the way the grass doesn't go down, so it's like impaling my body. It's kind of disturbing, actually. Oh yeah, I should probably down a loot pill. Oh, and for those who are wondering what the hashtag in the title is, so Respawn Gaming is a hardware company. They make gaming desks and gaming chairs, the accessories that we don't necessarily think about first when setting up our rigs in order to play games. And currently they're holding a competition of sorts, and those who are selected become partners, for lack of a better term. I don't know if it's an official partnership, but they're going to end up with things like a desk, a chair, and discount codes to give out. And so I figured I'd throw my hat in. You know, my channel isn't usually what most people think of when they think of gaming teams or anything like that, but I think that it offers a unique perspective and it offers a unique option for them to look at. You know, just because I'm not playing one of the big first-person shooters doesn't mean that it wouldn't be worth a look. So hopefully they notice, and we'll see where that goes. But I've been meaning to do a controlled cost hunt live for a while. It's been a while since I've done a controlled cost hunt. And I'm hoping to see it come out. I believe I'm going to come out roughly even. Especially once you take into account skills. But I don't know for sure. Because it's been... God, since I've done curbs, it's probably been over a year since I've done a real controlled cost hunt for curbs. Relatively close to level. And I'm hunting these higher level ones instead of going after the lower level ones. And I don't know if that's going to make me more efficient or less efficient. And we're going to find that out. But I was keyed in on that there are higher level curbs out there, and I had forgotten about Jurra Plateau, and they had mentioned another place, and I can't remember off the top of my head where it is, because I was hunting down at Boreas, because it's a bunch of low level, I can hunt them with no armor. As you can see, I'm not doing quite as well up here, and with the total lack of mobs, I might end up having to jump back over to Boreas, because it looks like this place has been hunted pretty clean. That's unexpected. Oh. Okay. Kind of sucks when you both shoot something at the same time. But it looks like they decided not to try and pull it, so I appreciate that. See, we got 4 people already. Welcome to the manor. Glad to have you. You know, it's funny. I've been paying more attention to Discord lately, and I'm on several Discord pages. Of course, I'm on Lore Spades. Mine isn't very active. I literally use it to use the voice chat to play with my son. That's the only thing I use my Discord for. It's kind of sad. I should probably do something more with it. But I haven't had the gumption, so that's totally on me. But I am a member of several other Discords. I'm a member of Lore Spades Discord and my buddy Morgalore, who I actually used to work with at Best Buy back in the day, which the day was only a couple of years ago, but still. He is on Twitch. Go check him out. He plays a lot more of the more popular games. One he tends to play a lot of is Dead by Daylight, which is... I think it's a cool game, but it's really not my style. I'd probably give it a shot. I should probably at some point do so, but I haven't. But yeah, go check him out when you have the opportunity. Another one that I'm on is I'm on, of course, the Virtueverse Discord because I'm a tester there and a backer. And, of course, anyone can join that one. If you're interested in that game, you can check out my videos on that sometime after the live stream if you haven't already. And then I'm on the Respawn Gaming one, which has a very interesting... It's interesting because every Discord has its own culture, for lack of a better term. It has its own type of person that really kind of hangs out there. And I find that when you go into the Virtueverse one, they're all kind of focused on the game, but it's a very tight-knit community. They're all interested in real cash economy games, of course. It's very similar to anything you'd find on an Entropia Universe forum, but it's more live. And I'm also on the Monria Discord. Let's stick to Entropia Universe for a minute. I am in the Monria Discord. I'd love to see it get more active. I know I'm not very active on it, so, you know, shame on me. But the fact that they have a Discord, I think, is a step up. And I'm hoping to see that it gets a little more love in the future, because I'd love to be an active participant there. But let me tell you, Discord... Sticking to Discord is more addictive than other social medias, because you're actually, like, talking to each other. You know, forget Twitter, forget Facebook, Discord. If the chat is active, you won't want to look away. How did that get messed up? Oh, that goes like that. There we go. And it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun to be able to just chat with folks. And it's just like being in chat in Entropia Universe, because you're able to talk to people from all over the world. And you share your ideas, and you just have a good time with it. In fact, today, we had a whole conversation between yesterday and today revolving around cast iron frying pans being a weapon in a game. I am not joking. Whole conversation around cast iron frying pans being a weapon in a game. And that was... I thought it was hilarious. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Welcome, Cat. Glad to see everyone here. And with that said, I have to be dad for just a second. I will be right back. Don't go nowhere. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Hey, Vast, how's it going? I gotta say, one of the most rewarding things in life is to be a parent. And I love being a parent. And spending time with my son is one of my favorite things to do. And sometimes that means you just gotta jump up for a minute. And I appreciate that everyone hung out while I did so. I don't think it took too long. It took me like 2 or 3 minutes, so I appreciate it. Because sometimes it just has to take priority. I appreciate you doing that, Paul. 2 a.m., so that puts you 5 hours. So, Paul, does that mean you're in England or Britain or Ireland? Yeah, GMT. That would be, yeah. No, I have an Vast. I have an amp. I've got the Mayhem M Matrix Beta L, which gives me the 6% lifesteal. I wish I had the lifesteal ring. I wouldn't mind the vampire cloak either. I'm not willing to spend the cash on the vampire cloak. And I think it drops in Halloween Mayhem. I think it's like a 1 in a million, literally 1 in a million drop off of the Halloween boss. Hey, Whispers. We're out hunting curbs on Jurra Plateau and grinding for respawn recruits. Ah, okay. South Yorkshire, excellent. Yeah, no, it's just a combination of various things. Like, I've got a loot pill. 2 of these are from my, is it Athena? No, Angelic ring, of which I have 2, and I am willing to part with 1. So, if you're interested, hit me up in game. Not when I'm live streaming. And then I have on my weapon, let's see, because that gives you the evade chance and the dodge chance and the, oh no, those are all from the M Matrix Beta. The increased evade, dodge, and damage, critical damage reduction, and then 6% lifesteal. And it's worth every penny. Actually, I think I got that one from a box. I get most of my amps from boxes, but the lifesteal amps I am totally willing to actually put pet into. I will say this about the SBs, because they do so little damage per tick, the amount of lifesteal you get out of them is very, very small. Now, they're so lightning fast that the DPS is probably roughly the same to a similarly classed Longblade. And it's helping bring up my sword fighter damage as well as my knife fighter, because short blades favor damage, whereas long blades favor hit. And they bring each other up. So if you work on both of them, you're going to benefit overall. You know, and the funny thing is about rings, I never really thought that rings would be that big a deal. And then I picked up the Angelic ring on a whim I'm like, let's just do something to make me just a touch more tanky. And it's like night and bloody day. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, it's not a huge... I don't have like one of the huge rings. But boy, oh howdy, has that 12% and that increased regen saved my ass a couple of times. Thank you, Chromebook. You just managed to close my my live stream on me. Not the live stream, because that's on my PC, of course, but my... how I keep track of chat. Like, shit. There we are. Okay. The question on that one, Paul, is always, can you get them cheap? And the answer to that question is generally not really. But I have looked into Athenic rings, and I'm going to continue. I think there's also... there's another one that I was looking at, too. But I can't remember what it was. I also would like to be able to upgrade my current ring from the... I think it's the adjusted... yeah, I have the adjusted. I'd like to move at least one more level up. Yeah, Whispers, isn't that how it always happens? You buy it and then suddenly it drops. Now, for me, I've had my ring for over the one I bought for over a year, and then one dropped, so I'm not, you know, upset over it. It was kind of like, oh, the one ring that drops for me, you know, it's the one I've already got, right? It's not a huge deal. And I know there's a market for them. Now, remind me what... I'm trying to remember what both the Ares and the Athenic rings do, because I know they're both good. I've looked at them both. I just can't remember which one does what. And in fact, if you're in-game... I'm not saying get in-game deliberately, but if you're in-game, go ahead and PM me links so I can just pop them up on the screen, please. That would be appreciated. Right, because the Ares and Athenic rings are opposite hand rings. Which I think the Angelic is a left hand? Or is it a right hand? It's a right hand ring. So remember, guys, if you're looking to give something to that special lady, not an Angelic ring. Goes on the wrong hand. Reload speed and crit, that makes sense. For Ares. But you know what, Whispers? You can always flip that ring and buy a ring you want. Because if there's always going to be a market for rings, there will always be a market for rings in this game, because rings don't decay and they give you benefits. So just flip it and then sell it or buy a ring that you could use. Evade and dodge. Okay, that makes sense. Of the two, I would probably move for the evade and dodge over the increased crit to reduce my the damage taken to my armor when I'm doing higher level hunting, but only if it does not overpower, or if it's not on the same hand as my Angelic ring, which gives me the regen. I've done a lot of work to try to build a tanky build, and that build is pretty much based on hit points. Because toughness really isn't a thing in this game. I mean, stamina's there, but good luck finding stamina tokens, and they don't climb any other way. That's professions. Wrong one. Here we go. Like, attributes. Stamina. I have 2 stamina. And this is physical toughness. Like, how the hell am I supposed to raise this without tokens? I got this little thread on my second one. Yay. Thanks, Mindark. And I have not been able to find any other missions or anything that give extra stamina tokens. Which I'm sure a lot of them are designed around iron missions. So my hope is that Mindark replaces them with something. Hey, Rince. Don't worry, I've kept the pets in so far. I could drop pet. Tell you what, just for you, I'll drop a leprechaun instead. How are we doing for ammo? No, we haven't quite gone through 100 ped. We got 24 ped and ammo back. Yikes. You know, I will say this about, like, ring drops and boxes. You either have to buy them, Rinse, or they can drop out of boxes like these where you have to buy the keys. And the keys are $1 a piece. Now, no matter what drops out of here, you're at least getting $1 worth of merch out of it. So you don't have to worry about, like, losing money. So it's not technically a gamble, although the government of Sweden has declared it so they can't sell them in Sweden, which is the stupidest fucking thing on the planet. You know, it's time for me to rant for a minute. Because this pisses me off. Because I know the U.S. government's tried to think about putting a restriction on it too. Because some senator's child bought a bunch of loot boxes off of Fortnite. And then he got butthurt because they didn't get what they want. So, loot boxes. The thing about loot boxes is this. Okay, especially in Entropia universe. It doesn't matter what I put in. I'm getting at least the amount that I put in out of the loot box. And so it's not a gamble. I mean, sure, I don't know what's going to come out of the loot box, but it's going to be worth at least what I'm putting in. If they cancel loot box, if they ban loot boxes from video games, those senators are high. Because they really need to look at and this is about as close to overtly political as I'm going to get. Or I try not to get political, but this is inherently political. Because let's look at cards. Baseball cards, Magic the Gathering, other CCGs, the cards with the sports figures on them with the bubble gum in it. It's the same fucking thing. I wanted to just peg these things. I would have totally gone to, like, the U.S. Capitol and pegged a bunch of baseball cards at the U.S. Senate. Oh, I did not know there was a repeatable stamina mission on Rocktropia. That would make it worthwhile to go to Rocktropia, one of the few plans I have never really spent time on. So yeah, slash end rant. I'm not going to get too deep into that garbage, but I read that and I about flipped my shit. I did a whole rant on it on video, I think, which is why I'm not going to spend the next hour and a half doing it here. Yeah, and that's the thing. You do have to buy everything in this game. Actually, no. I take that back. They give you some starter stuff, including a vehicle that I didn't realize you could repair, and so I TT'd this stupid thing. That was really dumb of me, by the way. That is correct, Vast. That is my big point. You get at least your money back, therefore it is not a gamble, by definition. And anyone who says otherwise is selling you something or full of shit. We're not talking the healthy brown shit, we're talking the green shit. because of course I had to go there. Lost my train of thought. Oh, you get a vehicle, you get a starter gun, you get some ammo, you get starter items, so you don't have to purchase anything because all of those are free. But it doesn't take long for you to run out of ammo, and you have to purchase your ammo, and that's what it comes down to, is you have to buy your ammo. Now if you're smart, there are a couple of, or if you don't mind the long grind, is what it really comes down to. If you don't mind the long grind, you do have a couple of options. You can hitch a ride to one of the 2 major sweating fields, and you can sweat mobs for vibrant sweat, which you can then sell for money that you can then put into your hunting. And there are people who have done this. Serial Overdrive is the most famous of which, because his avatar is worth something like $5 or $6 grand, $5,000 or $6,000. If like, no joke. And he hasn't put a dime into the game. Until MindArk started sponsoring him, he didn't have any money in the game at all. Now, of course, once you get sponsored, things change a little bit. That's a little bit different, but that's the it of it. Where was I? Sweating mobs. Oh, yeah, he like ground out this avatar over the course of like 15 years. And that's why he's the biggest YouTuber for Entropia universe. Speaking of which, I am the #2 guy in his society. So if you want to or are interested in joining Serial Overdrive Society, the Serial Society, drop a request, and I will be more than happy to pull you into the society. There, plug. Yeah, it took him a long time, but he got there. I myself, I am a depoter. I deposit regularly, or semi-regularly right now, but I deposit regularly. It's my fun money. Like, I don't play any other MMOs anymore, except for Fallout 76, as you well know, Rince. Which I don't know if that really classifies as an MMO by definition, because it has so many different servers, like 20 players per game. But that's a philosophical question for a later time. But with the 10-to-1 exchange rate, so for every dollar you put in, you get 10 Project Entropia dollars, or 10 pet. And so with that exchange rate, I put in the money that makes it so that I can do these streams, so that I can do the videos. And so it's worth it to me. For me, it's an investment. It's an investment in my channel. It's an investment in myself. And I mitigate those expenses through things like deeds. So I've got 87 Arcadia Underground deeds, 50 Arcadia Moon deeds. Arcadia Underground deeds go for about $7 US a piece, Rince. The Moon deeds go for $6. I also have some Crystal Palace Station shares, which are, I think the market value right now is something like about $2 a piece. It's just under $2 a piece, $1.92. And then Ancient Greece is going for $1 a share. I haven't touched those yet. But they're passive income earners. Like right here, I've got 6.22 ped waiting for me. 6 ped 22 pack, which is like 62 cents. And all of the money I earn from that, I dump into more shares and deeds. But eventually, it'll overtake what I'm actually depositing. I won't deposit anymore. It looks like we got half a thought there, Vast. And I didn't know you were a mod on his Discord. I didn't even know he had a Discord. I'm the #2 guy in his society. I'm not even on his Discord. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible vice president. That's true. Serial Overdrive did make a lot of money trading back in the day when you had to actually like walk places because there were no teleporters. And you could make a lot of money back then, relatively speaking, doing that. You know, it's a wise business. You know, if you're willing to take the risk and run your sorry ass across Calypso, and it's a big ass planet. I have never actually tried walking from, say, Camp Icarus here to Twin Peaks, which is, that's Chugs, Twin Peaks. Where is Twin Peaks? Womanian, Fort Fury. Okay, folks, hang on. We're gonna find out where Twin Peaks is. Because I'm lame and I don't know where it is off the bat. Okay, where the hell is Twin Peaks? Oh, there it is. Twin Peaks is there. So think about it. Twin Peaks, Camp Icarus. That's a whole lot of terrain to cover. And most of it is hostile. And he would walk it. Or he might have been able to use a vehicle. But still, it's a long-ass drive. And he'd do it. You know, props to him. He earned every penny he made off of that. Seriously. Okay. Yeah, Vast, if you can get an invite to that Discord and just drop it right in the chat here, that would be awesome. And I'd encourage anyone, especially those interested in Entropia Universe, to join as well. Have they been in there that long? I wonder why it seemed like it was so difficult to trade back then, though, because I thought you had to actually walk around. I've been wrong before, so, you know, I'm totally down for being wrong this time, especially when I haven't been in the game as nearly as long as either of you. But that actually does surprise me. Oh, hi. Because I thought vehicles came before teleporters for some reason. You know. Rinse, are you talking to me or Vast? That's true too. Which, to a certain extent, I actually wish there wasn't a markup chart, but at the same time, I'm glad there is. Because it helps stabilize the market, and it prevents people from scalping. But at the same time, there was from what I understand, there was a whole deal where people would actually do all of the math. And that's really cool. So I have been playing Entropia Universe since December of 2017. I picked it up about 6 months after I moved back. Yeah, it was about 6 months after I moved back to Vermont. And I started YouTubing Entropia Universe in June of 2018. And you know what? Believe it or not, I played for like a month and a half and then I stopped. No, it might have been as many as 3 months, but I stopped and I didn't pick it up for a whole month. Holy crap, that's a player. With an Aatrox pet. And then I came back to it because what I did is I made the classical error. I bought a Killian sword. For those of you who don't know what the Killian swords are because you don't play, the Killian sword is a weapon that is strictly designed for crafters to learn how to craft. That is a really interesting camo pattern. Out the camo pattern. Smiley face. Anyway, sorry, distractions, tangents. Yeah, so I had the Killian sword, which has a 14.1 efficiency rate, which means it's not efficient at all. It's garbage, and it's really just designed for crafters to learn how to craft. And people sell it on the auction house, but honestly, you should be TTing the stupid thing because it's not worth it. And I burned through that sword several times before I realized, oh, I'm like dumping money into a sword that really isn't worthwhile. And then I switched to the Laconian sword, and suddenly I was a hell of a lot more efficient. And I did the TT sword as well. And that was a lot more efficient. And it just... I left for a month after that. I pretty much rage quit. I almost left Entropia Universe. And I thought, no, I'm going to give it another shot. And since then, I have just been here. Big shout out to Pat, by the way, for putting up with me taking a look at the camo pattern. Jarhead is a rather apt name for that type of an armor pattern type. Yeah, Killian swords are noob traps. Boy, are they newbie traps. You know what else are newbie traps? These. Unlimited weapons. Specifically unlimited swords. And I'm not saying that to be mean. But they're designed for people who are level 100. And if you're not paying attention, if you don't know what you're looking at, you'll totally use them. And I actually deliberately went very inefficient to get the damage buff on these. Not the buff, but the increased damage, because the maximum, you can always access the maximum on these. It's just where is your minimum at. That's where the inefficiency pops in. And it's got a 65.8 base efficiency to begin with. But when I started the Longtooth Iron mission, I hunted the lower level Longtooth using this sword. And I know it's got a below average durability. I think I even did it unamped. But I did it. And I don't regret it, but it definitely wasn't the most eco thing I've ever done in my life. You managed to get a TT sword up to tier 9 before it died on you. Did you have, did you put enhancers on it, or was it just dumb luck? I didn't even know there were dyeable armors in the game, but that's good information to have. I would love to know what calculus goes into the tiering system. But, I mean, the tiering system formula is probably as well kept a secret as the Ludius algorithm. The best kept secret in the Western Hemisphere. I think Sweden's in the Western Hemisphere. Nope, it's in the Eastern Hemisphere. So it's the best kept secret in the Eastern Hemisphere, is what the Ludius algorithm is. That's good to know, because in 2 days, migration starts. That's where the fun begins. And I'm kind of hoping to hit migration rather aggressively this year. We'll see how the ped card holds out. But I've been reserving funds. I'm going to pick up some keys. I'm going to pop open these. I was going to sell these boxes. I even tried to, but I think instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop them. And use the ammo for migration. And go from there. Because I'm pretty sure last year I was hunting level 17 Longtooth. And maybe I should keep down to the level 12s and 13s. But... And I think that's what I should probably do, is stick to like the 14s. Not... I don't remember what the level parsing is, but I think I need to step back from what I tried to do last year because I got inefficient. And I think that was part of my problem, which is why I ended up stopping doing migration. Well, that and because they said that they were only going to do iron missions for a month after they released the codex, and then they said, oops, we're going to do it for a whole year for you. It's like, thanks, Mindark. Okay, so there was a predecessor series to the R Matrix series. That's good to know. Because eventually, who knows, they might supplant the R Matrix series. Hey, no, that's not dumb-sounding whispers. So migration is a big event that happens every year, and I think it's the biggest non-instanced event in Entropia universe, to my knowledge. And so what happens is the Aomon migration, and you should go to planetcalypso.com or you should go to entropiauniverse.com and read the release about it. Every year, the Aomon migrate, but in reality, the ones who really take the cake are the Longtooth, which are a type of Exarosaur, Xenoexarosaur. And this right here is the main trail that they walk down. As you can see the shape here, it's a ridge. And that's the main migration trail, and it extends all the way around here and back up into like this area here. It's either here or here. So, I mean, it's a long trail. And you go there and you hunt them and they drop summer strong boxes. And it's a good time. And they've got the challenges for them. And in the past, the Longtooth Iron mission could also be achieved by hunting Exarosaurs of a certain level. I don't know how the Codex missions are going to go. I'm actually very curious to see. Because they might just be classified as Exarosaurs. I don't even know if I've got Exarosaurs in here. They might just be classified as Exarosaurs. Or they might have their own entry. And the fun thing is that because it's a migration, every day where you find the level of mob that you want to hunt is going to change. But only changes by one position because they're migrating. And so Mindark does a really good job of it. In the past, we've actually also seen mobs around Minopolis, which I think that's Nymph Town right there, Minopolis. Last year, they didn't have any there. I'm really hoping they bring them back. But we'll see what happens. You can also go up here to Fort Zeus, and you get the lower level ones. They're like level 3. Those are the ones I hunted with the Katsuichi Honor. But I do hope that they bring them back down to Minopolis, because that was a much easier place to hunt than having to hunt the trail all the time. Vast, are Geotrek still in the game? Oh, it's my freaking leprechaun walking around. Like, what am I hearing? Once migration's over, we're headed to Cyrene for a while. Pick up a bunch of swords and just go over there and try and see how I fare against the mobs again. Yeah, go ahead and you can post any relevant links. I don't have any hard prescription against posting links to anything that's relevant and, you know, safe for work. If you get my meaning. Where does old Fred spawn? Does he just spawn as you hunt, or is it... Because I've never seen old Fred, but I do know... I have seen random, like, super high-level Longtooth spawn relative to the group they're in. You know, you'll be in a group of level 15 mob or 14 mobs, and all of a sudden you get a level 26 there. I have hunted Meng Changs. Meng Changs are an awesome hunt. I just don't like the hill they're on. It's a total pain in the ass hunting them where they are. But I have hunted Meng Changs in the past, and I do enjoy hunting them. For those of you who are not familiar with Meng Changs, they are a Cyrene mob. Where am I? There I am. Where am I? I have no clue where I am. They've got, I mean, not Monria, Cyrene has a great loot table to begin with. And the Meng Changs have a good loot table for Cyrene. So, what do you mean rinse? Are you talking about the pink smoke there? Okay, that's good to know, Paul. Thank you. Speaking of Ming Ching, Cyrene is like an underloved planet. It really is. Not enough players go to Cyrene. They don't stay there long enough. It is an underappreciated planet. So the pink is actually me activating a Mind Force ability that heals me. I don't know why Mind Arc decided that pink was the color of healing, but they did. It doesn't bother me, and it's just like pink. Okay. It's kind of like watching Zora the Gayblade. Yes, I'm not a big fan of pink. I'm trying to think of what else happened to my tune. It's like right now I'm throwing fireballs, which is always aces in my book. If I do it again, rinse, let me know. The barbell daily. Okay. I think with increased stamina, I would do better. A green thing. I must have missed it, rinse. I'm sorry. All I've been using is the knife and the fireballs and the healing. So it might have been a graphical glitch. I'll have to go back and review the footage. Yeah, Whispers. Cyrene, I go back to Cyrene at least once a year. It was my favorite planet. Monria has just eked out ahead of it, which I know Monria is. Cyrene is still my favorite planet because Monria is a moon. So I can get away with saying that Cyrene is my favorite planet. But no, I love Cyrene. I don't get there enough. I don't do enough there. I really should do more. I'm hoping that once the Codex releases on all planet partners, I can spend a lot more time there. They have a land area that eventually will come up for sale. And if I'm lucky, if I have the funds, I will totally bid on that sucker. Oh, that. Okay, thank you, Vast. Yeah, professional level increase. My pyrokinetic damage profession level up. And it looks like one of my sales expired. Okay. Really? I will have to check it. So you don't have to wait till you get 100 of them? Oh, wow. Yeah, that would definitely be worthwhile to me. So I'm going to have to look that up when I get back to Cyrene. Can you pick that up in the main area there? Where you pick up the dailies? Because, I mean, to me, Cyrene is home. And I didn't spawn on Cyrene. I'm technically Calypson born. But honestly, if I could go back, I totally would have gone Cyrene or Monria. I probably would have chosen Monria because of the Monrian born program. But I really want to see Cyrene succeed. And I think they're going to do really, really well. And they've got a great community. They're almost as good as Monria's community. And I think that the only difference between the two is the fact that, well, frankly, Monria stole Cyrene's community organizer. Because DME, Dark Moon Enigma, she went from being on, you know, Cyrene's big person to Monria's big person. And Monria won in that transaction. The Heart of the Plains. Perfect. Challenger Frank. Thank you, Vast. I will probably ask you that same question when I'm back on Cyrene. Boy, oh howdy, we're doing pretty good. Have a good night, Rents. Thank you for joining us. Hey, y'all, if you're into Fallout 76, or even if you're not, go subscribe to Rincewin75. He puts out some really good content. JPD. Let's get him to 13 million subscribers as well. So we've gone through about almost 200 ped worth of ammo. We've got 90 ped worth of Shrap, which is going to turn into about, call it 91-ish in ammo. 50 to 60 pack, 3. We're probably not winning. But we'll see. You just want 5 million anymore is showing off. Gotta 10x that goal there, Rince. Go for 50 million. Come on, challenge PewDiePie, who has like 105 million subscribers. Hey, yeah, if the Mengsheng are that good on Monria, I will totally hunt them till I'm turned blue in the face. I'm throwing fire at the sky. You know, I'm kind of disappointed. Not a single global all night. I mean, we got 30 minutes left. It could happen. But, you know, I was out here yesterday, the day before, I got 2 globals. And now that I'm on stream, no globals. And y'all know we play for the swirlies, right? I would much rather get my globals on camera than off. That's terrible. I'm an awful person. I'm going to hell. Please excuse my slurping. Water is an important thing. Alright, Paul, you have yourself a good evening. I know it's early there at this point, so sleep well. Hopefully you don't have to be up too early. Hey, Boomstick, how's it going? Hey, you made it with half an hour left this time. Really? I did not know that. Hey, Kat, did you know competitive Tetris was a thing? I mean, I used to compete with my old man on Tetris, like the original Game Boy Tetris. You know, do 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 do. Yeah, like that one. I don't doubt it though. I mean, Tetris is awesome. No joke. I love Tetris. Kat, what was the name of that Tetris game you were playing while I was at your house? I know it was Tetris, but I don't remember what version of Tetris it was. Because it was PS4, I think, wasn't it? There are some people with insane abilities in Tetris. Although I also have to say, your ability to manage those shapes, the blocks, they were falling, they were pretty much on the line by the time you saw what you were dropping. That was nuts. Tetris effect. Okay. Yeah, that was insane. It was just like, oh, here's the shape, and now it's on the line. Move it around before it solidifies. You're screwed. Like, Jesus. Oh, no joke. 19.5. So, Boomstick, which version of Tetris are you talking about? Okay, yeah, 130 lines. Yeah, my old man and I made it to level 11. Like we were fighting around the 110 line mark by the time that stopped. But we're talking like old Game Boy Tetris. First Game Boy Tetris. We're talking the big thing that took 4 batteries and had a green screen, like a green background on the screen. Oh yeah. NES. So basically the same game. You know, the NES version was in color. That was the only difference. No, Boomstick. If you think that's nuts, you gotta see Tetris Effect. Cat is dealing with, like, you choose the block, it drops from the sky, but it doesn't drop, it's just all of a sudden there on the floor. And you gotta move it around fast enough to put it in the right spot before it just solidifies and you're done. It is just ridiculous. I also need to recommend, and Kat turned me on to this one. There is the complete history of the Soviet Union to the tune of Tetris, and it's hilarious. And it's on YouTube. And after I'm done streaming, y'all need to watch it. And that's the link. Because of course I'm going to drop the link. Save the link for later or put it in a different window. Don't go nowhere. I'm not saying to leave the stream. But yeah. And I gotta say, like, you're going to start singing it by the time you're done. I shit you not. See, I post links to other YouTube videos people leave. Oops. There we go. Let's see. Oh. Ooh. Dodge or evade. It's probably gonna end up being dodge. Oh, yeah. Better. Much better. And we gained a new rank. Oh, wow. Okay. I deserve that for not paying attention. Good thing I'm sitting on like 30,000 HDNAs. Hey, Robert. The game is Entropia universe. We're grinding for Respawn recruits. Because Respawn Gaming is looking for people to promote their products and be partners. So, you know, why the hell not? We're hunting Kerberos. And talking about Tetris. Because I am the man who arranges the blocks. I'm not going to start singing too much to you guys. I like having people watch the channel. I don't want you guys to leave. Actually, I know I shouldn't say that, considering the mug on my shelves isn't a reward for singing, but I'm out of practice because of, you know, the Rona. Which is to my own detriment. I really need to spend more time. Okay. I really like Fallout 76. It's in a lot of ways, I think that they fixed a lot of the issues that Fallout 4 had in Fallout 76. But I mean, it still has its issues because let's be fair, Todd Howard still had a major hand in it. I know I rag on Todd Howard a lot. And maybe it's more than I should, but no, let's be facing it's Todd Howard. Kat, have you managed to finish that level in Tetris, by the way? You were damned close to last weekend. Yeah, God Howard is right. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Okay, good. I thought for some reason that she had mentioned that she had, and I couldn't remember. And that was the last level, so I mean, that was just ridiculously difficult. And you know... Okay. And come to think of it, I think that was mentioned to me in Messenger. So sorry about that, Cat. Robert, it depends on the situation. I mean, you do get a lot of hacking in Fallout 76, but you also have, like, legacy weapons that are overpowered, and you get somehow people are managing to pull nuclear winter weapons over, which might be hacking, and it might just be a glitch, and then you got those guys who found the frickin' developer room, And then Bethesda got all upset because they found the way into the developer room because they weren't smart enough to secure it in a way that no one could glitch into it. It's like, hello. I am of the firm belief that Tetris is the original hardest game ever. Like, even older than Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden was absurdly hard. Like, we're not talking the modern one. We're talking the old NES version. Okay. We're talking, it was 2D. Everything you touched could kill you. NES version of Ninja Gaiden. Screw that. Tetris was harder. Because it lulls you into a false sense of security, and then all of a sudden, the blocks are just falling so fast you can't see them. And it's like, here you go. This is back before, you know, games were difficult because they didn't program them well. Oh, look at that. I'm flying out into outer space. I wonder why that's happening. Oh, right, because players are killing Lord British. For any of you wondering about that reference, so there was an MMO back in the day called Ultima Online. I think it was the first MMO ever. And Richard Garriott, also known as Lord British, because that was his persona in Ultima, decided to throw a bash, but something happened and he forgot to turn his God mode back on, and he got assassinated by a player. Because anytime you put something in a game, you're gonna find a troll. And so something glitched out. He wasn't able to get God mode back on fast enough. He kept getting killed, and so the devs just started picking people up and dropping them into space to kill them. That is very true, Cat. Yes, it is. That is very true. I would contend that because of the you have to make a lot of calculated risks in Tetris, especially when you get up to the higher levels, where you might sacrifice a block and put it in a bad spot to try and have a better overall score and hope you can make it up later. I would contend that Tetris is harder than most, if not all, platform games of the era when it originally came out. Now, compared to today, things are so varied, it's not even comparable, but back like in the NES days and the Game Boy days, I would contend, and even compared to today, just because of the way you play the game, I would contend that it is probably one of the hardest games to really master, right? Like most platforms, you can beat by learning the timing. If you can get the timing down, that's everything. But Tetris throws random blocks at you. You have no fucking clue what's coming at you. So, I gotta say, I've got mad respect for you to be able to beat the final level of that game, because that's insane. And even more so because I witnessed it with my old wow. I witnessed it with my own eyes as you were doing it. Yeah, it was the first online game I played too, Robert. I actually played StarCraft after I played Ultima Online. I played StarCraft Online after I played Ultima Online. Although my poor dial-up connection did not handle it well. Oh, geez, oh Pete's. That's not supposed to happen. Little yawn there. Yeah, the good old days. You know what? When it comes to, like, gaming, nah, I'm good. I'll stick to broadband and CryEngine and Ultima Online. Not Ultima Online, but, WoW. Fallout and Entropia universe. I don't even know that you can still play Ultima Online. It's probably out there still somewhere. Let's take a look. Holy bucket. It is still there. There is still an Ultima Online. That is nuts. And apparently it's free to play. Which I think it was to begin with. Start making our way back to the base here. I never would have guessed it was still there. Oh wow, and they're still updating it. Like the last announcement was today. Wow. I'm pretty sure you could probably play Ultima Online on a graphing calculator if you tried hard enough, although a graphing calculator can probably boot Skyrim's loading screen, so... Oh no, Up Is Not Jump said you could get to Whiterun on a graphing calculator, and I believe it. So we're going to see how we did tonight. I'm actually surprised I'm making it this far without having a curb decide to jump in front of me. Or chase me. I also have to say that I need to thank Boomstick for this and Cat. Because now I've got the Tetris theme song stuck in my head again. And of course it's to the YouTube video that I posted the link to. Because I am the man who arranges the blocks. Ugh. Okay, so we started with 700 ped. We're going to recycle our ammo. So we have 569 left. Let's pull out a handy dandy calculator here. .59. So we burned through 130.41 ped. So let's see what our loot gets us. Okay, 131.32. We're actually up 91 pack. And then we lose 26.43 in decay. So I lost 25.52 ped in raw money. If you calculate in all the skills I gained, I'm pretty sure I ran pretty close to even. And once you put in the fact that like I have 108 here, this is a market value of what, 104? 103-ish. So there's what, 108.03 times 1.03. That's 11 ped on its own, or 3 ped on its own. Yeah, I'm gonna say I came pretty close to even. Close enough for government work. Would I like it to be higher? Then of course I would. But I mean, this is let's be real here. I'm gonna have to sell that, aren't I? Probably. Got a lot of stuff I can actually sell on market now. There we go. So overall, I would classify that as a successful hunt. You don't regret showing me that video. No, it was good. It was a lot of fun. It was. So, okay, guys, that's it for me tonight. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. And for those of you still in, please do me a favor. If you haven't yet, smash that like button for me. It really helps me out. And, yeah, guys, we'll see you all on Friday. Thanks for coming.